Welcome to Numb Bills Fan Podcast thing, media Bills preview. I'm here to talk about the Bills. I'm your host, David Palermo, and the Bills are welcoming the Kansas City Chiefs to the Orchard Park area, One Bills Drive in Buffalo. What do I think? I don't know. I think we have a lot of sloppy football, and I think the NFL is on top of the people doing the math on the bullshit around the league. And what I mean by that is the Bills with this referee crew are undefeated, allegedly the last couple of years. His name, I have a whole bunch of quality notes, as you can tell, a few pages from ripping off other people's content and taking my favorite notes. That content being cover one, the Air Raid Hour, good show this morning. Another show, Chauvin Bulldog off of WGR. I like some of the guests they have on there. Of course, Al Capaccio goes on there, so I listen to Friday's show. And here I am, Locked On Bills, Joe Marino. You know, I don't know what to tell you. That's what I'm doing right now. Repeating shit I wrote down. So here we go. So if you don't know, the Chiefs are undefeated, all right? The Bills, they've lost a few games. I could pull up my Bills app in front of me and read down the preview. I'm sure you've done the research, all right? The Chiefs and the Bills have a little problem. The Bills tend to beat them in the regular season, I feel, and then in the playoffs, Sean McDermott, I don't know what happens. Maybe I don't want to say threaten his family or who they is, but for some reason he just cramps up in the playoffs. I don't get it. Some of the worst Bills football I've seen under him is in the playoffs, and all due respect, McDermott. I know you get nervous, and maybe it's not your fault. Don't know. So with this ref crew, I believe his name is Land Clark, and the Chiefs are undefeated with him as the head ref. Kansas City has, let's say, a lot of luck. All right. Now, I was a big Michael Jordan fan, and I would add up team fouls as a kid. I never thought about it, right? But when you cross over X amount of team fouls, you get a free throw. Well, those team fouls can vary. They're a very gray area. And then we find out later on, of course, with TikTok, with Instagram, with media, and everything exploding, the truth that a lot of these games can be fabricated. They might not be fabricated how you think, but when there's something with Pat Mahomes throwing X amount of interceptions and them being called back, or there's a defensive back, I forgot his name, for the Texans that says he knows when Pat's going to throw because the ref has his hand on the flag. Okay. Yeah, that could be a stretch, but after a while, it's just a little weird. But when you look at it from Goodell comes in and we're going to make this company billions and billions and billions of dollars is his story, right? Okay, well, how do you do that? It's entertainment. You shave it. You do certain things. You manipulate certain things. Okay. So now with this crew in there, I don't think that's going to be the reason the Bills lose this game. That's straight up if they lose. I think the reason this is being mentioned and brought up is because in the playoffs, it's a better storyline if the Bills actually won this game. Really think about what we're talking about. We're talking about a collective bargaining agreement where people get more money for the better results in ticket sales and merchandise sold. There's also theories of the bigger market always winning. So New York Giants versus the Patriots, for example. Okay, so really odd. Now, do I think that can happen with all the refs? I don't know, but it's a little weird with Pat Mahomes that this year he's on pace to have the most interceptions. Maybe the NFL's on to stuff, that people are doing the math, the fabrication of the league. Maybe people are onto it if it's a thing. This is just me throwing shit out there, okay? So I think it's a little bit weird that this crew's on now when the Chiefs are undefeated. Now, this was in the playoffs. They'd be like, oh, come on, guys, stack the deck. No, no. If the Bills lose this game, it's because Spencer Brown has a low ankle sprain. Okay, he gets a lot of penalties anyways. The Bills lead the league in unnecessary roughness penalties. All right, so with this ref already, and Torrance already kind of being a little questionable at the guard position, I mean, Spagnuolo, creative blitzes, however you're going to pressure that side of the line, I think Spagnuolo takes James Cook away. All right? I don't know really what the panic is with Dalton Kincaid being out, frankly, I think that's more of a marketing move. Hey, we need a pass catcher, so we took him. Here, Ken Dorsey, make him work. Oh, Ken Dorsey loved him. Oh, Josh loved him. Stop lying to me. In fact, if I'm Josh Allen, do I even want that? So then what? You go to another team, if he goes to another team, Josh, and then throws the Bills under the bus, he won't do that. He's a head quarterback, because if you start doing that, then the media comes out and goes after you. So the way I look at it is today with the Bills, Dawson Knox by default should have a big game. He was signed to a big contract before they drafted Kincaid. So now when you have something what the pandemic Bills, which was Diggs, Davis, Beasley, that's what I expect to see today. Khalil Shakir is always open. He's got the best chemistry with Josh Allen on the team. Amari Cooper is going to be allegedly playing in a cast. Who fucking knows with him? I don't know either. Okay? So I'm looking forward to it. Matt Collins, holy shit, has he stepped up. He's caught the ball. Into it. He's been finding space too. Very smart. Hey, if you don't know, he plays chess. Keon Coleman, he's out. If you look over here, he's hanging out with us, covering up the light switch. All right? Don't make me prove it to you. There's a light switch under him. I'm not moving the graphic. So, here's the problem we have. I wrote down in my notes. This ref, what's his name again? Lan Clark. Number one in calling illegal formations, this fucking guy. Okay? Number one. Now, here's what's weird, too, is he's number two, this crew, with false starts. But the Chiefs are undefeated, and I feel like the Chiefs set the blueprint for dudes having false starts. Just call me fucking nuts. Weren't we talking about this last year and now this year, where it's like the tackles seem to be able to get off just a hair early, and it's not called? Or is it? So with the Chiefs, I don't understand that with this crew. Now, like I said before, the Bills are number one in unnecessary roughness penalties. Well, Spencer Brown sits home, which he should. You got an ankle sprain, sit out. I don't know what to tell you. So, per everybody else's podcast, how the Bills beat this team, I don't know, quick passes. Like I said, I think the coolest wrinkle is actually Kincaid being out. If everybody eats is true, which I've been bagging on until they got Amari Cooper, because they're doing better with Amari Cooper because, you know, it's chest. We talked about this. Look, you have a different wrinkle in your offense now that Spagnuolo hasn't seen. So I'm hoping going into this game that the Bills either install different plays or they have different sets with three receivers involved. James Cook, I think he's the strongest weapon on the Bills. And I would be shocked if he is not cut out of the picture. He has had a solid year. Cannot complain about him at all. But Chris Jones, the defensive tackle of the Chiefs, is a monster. Last year, he sat out game one, and the Chiefs lost, over a contract, right? So with Pat Mahomes, my whole point here is it's about the marketing, right? If we're going, this podcast or media thing today is about a different angle, more Disneyland approach. In the playoffs, the Bills are going to be there. The Chiefs are going to be there. If the Chiefs go undefeated, I don't think that makes a great story. Like, they already beat the Bills in the playoffs. Oh, wow, vengeance? No, it's, wow, the Chiefs lost to the Bills in the regular season. The Bills snapped their undefeated streak. Holy cow. They won. The Bills won. And ever since then, the Bills had a few key wins. And if you really look at the Bills, like, what if that's the storyline? Right now, the Bills are fun because everybody's stepping up differently. It's not Josh Allen running around with his head chopped off. Now that I say this, maybe this game that happens. But that's okay, I think, sometimes. But the team looks more steady and solid this year than last year. Maybe it's just my eyes, or I'm just nuts. But it seems dependable. DeMar Hamlin's been fine. He got dusted on a play last week. Let's talk about Taron Johnson. He got the, what is it called? The AFC Defensive Player of the Week. He had a pick six, remember, and a sack. What a baller. Milano, he should be back, I think, in a week or two. I believe he's out today. I'm pretty sure. Anything else in my notes here? So we talked about the ref crew. We talked about the little Disneyland storyline. What's the best way to get there? The Chiefs allegedly can't cover tight end, so I guess that's the downfall. I don't know. Whatever. DeAndre Hopkins is on the Chiefs. Now look, I don't like when these running backs that we never fucking heard of for years will just run on the Bills, especially from the Patriots. DeAndre Hopkins has never been in trade talks with the Bills, I think, at all, and allegedly dude doesn't practice. You know that ain't happening on McDermott's team, so he's always on the injury report because he don't do that, allegedly. Okay, who am I? Just some fucking guy with the Keon Coleman graphic next to me covering a light switch. Again, don't worry about it. I don't know either. But I don't want to see a DeAndre Hopkins resurgence today. I don't want to see Xavier Worthy, who the Bills traded out with, who only has 20 receptions, 3 touchdowns this year. Who cares? I like Keon Coleman. He grew on me. He put in the work. I wish you were here, Keon, and not just covering the light switch, doing more for the team than that. And look, I don't want to see Xavier Worthy go off. But when you're trading to the Chiefs multiple times from Pat Mahomes to Xavier Worthy, I don't want to fucking hear about it's not Disneyland. Okay? I don't want to hear that Sean McDermott, there's a lot of differences to the Chiefs. Bullshit. The only difference is that they traded Tyreek Hill and the Bills don't have Diggs. So if the Chiefs do it, it must work. The Bills don't have the refs. The Bills don't have the marketing squad of the NFL. Okay? So no, they're nothing like the Chiefs. And last I checked, the Chiefs invest in their offense. Now, we're talking about the defense being better for the Chiefs than the Chiefs offense this year. Travis Kelce and the Swifties, who gives a fuck? I'm sure he'll get open. He always does. All right? A lot of Chiefs fans at the airport, apparently, in Buffalo, I'm seeing. What do I think is going to happen today? I think the Bills... Again, I'm worried about a DeAndre Hopkins resurgence here. Call me nuts. But Taylor Rapp's playing very good. Very good. I don't know if he hurt himself, and then he's back smarter, wiser, better, but he has developed, I feel, into a solid safety. Have I watched any game tape? No. Again, I'm sitting here with Keon Coleman graphic over my fucking light switch. I'm not the one to listen to, but I have opinions. I'm not going to hold them in. Okay. We covered Swifties. No, we don't need to talk about Flacco today. That's another page of notes. Doesn't matter if the Bills lose. I don't give a flying fuck. This is a topic from Joe Marino at Lockdown Billsicles and Joe Marino. I don't care if the Bills lose. I don't. They are so ahead in the division. The Jets are the biggest dog shit thing ever. I'm totally about Aaron Rodgers is going to do it. COVID MVP for 2 years. Fuck everybody. Fuck you all. That's what I'm telling my friends and people I'm calling. I haven't really broadcast at that point. But I'm rooting for the Jets hard, and they just keep shitting on themselves. I was like, all right, they got rid of Salah. Okay, I don't know what the fuck Aaron Rodgers has to do with his offensive coordinator Hackett, but that dude sucked in Buffalo. I said it before. I'll say it again. EJ Manuel called it out on Eric Wood's podcast. Don't make me find the clip where he goes, yeah, Nathaniel Hackett came in with Doug Marrone as a quarterback's coach and rookie offensive coordinator. Oh, so he's going to double duty. So EJ Manuel's like, yeah, well, you think they work with what I had, right? So no, he had me insert this jab step into his drop back, something he's never done. What the fuck are we doing here? So somehow Hackett follows Doug Moron, which, hey, in hindsight, Doug Moron isn't as much of a moron as I thought. I learned a lot about Russ Brandon making a lot of the picks. Okay, Watkins was Russ Brandon's pick. I think Stevie Johnson being traded was a Russ Brandon / Whaley thing. And you know I love to blow Whaley, so don't even get me going there. That takes a lot for me to shit on Whaley, my main man. Okay? But I don't know who I trust in any of this scenario. So if you look over the entire team today, and from a marketing angle is my whole point, top to bottom, what do the Bills do? I don't know. But the Jets are shitting on themselves. The Dolphins are shitting on themselves. We're talking about Hackett somehow having a job, going with Doug Moron to the Jaguars, eventually being he was offensive coordinator, quarterback's coach. He got Bortles to a championship game in the AFC. Okay? Then he gets a job, Hackett, with Aaron Rodgers, who's what? You should be figure turnkey, right? Okay, well, that's great. Well, what happened with the Jets? Aaron Rodgers in San Diego fucking off with his ankle injury or his Achilles, okay? He's not with the team. He's saying all the right shit. Maybe inside the locker room, the other media I didn't want to listen to was right. So when the Jets are just shitting on themselves, Aaron Rodgers shows some brilliance. I get it. But are the Jets going to run it back next year with Adams and Rodgers? Like, how do you save that? I don't know. But if the Bills lose today, does it fucking matter? Doesn't matter. I really don't care. I might not even watch a game. I think that's a joke. I think this is the most boring Chiefs-Bills matchup of all time. Since Mahomes and Josh Allen, we should say, not of all time. Pretty close. I think football right now is pretty sloppy and boring. Uh, it's not the league it was, which is cool. You know, and I'm sick of seeing flags. It seems every other plays a flag. That the game seems very manipulated. So if the Bills lose today, do I lose sleep? No. Don't care. I'm very confident the Bills have the division wrapped up. If Josh Allen wants to go to South America or something for a little bit, you know, see Cancun with his girl, go star on Saturday Night Live or something, go do it. I think he could take 5 games off and the Bills win the division. I don't understand. And you know how I feel about the Bills backups. They're dog shit. I think Mitch Trubisky shouldn't even be in the fucking NFL, but he's here because, you know, Josh likes him. So I think the Bills actually lose 20-17, not because of the refs, but because I think Spagnuolo is a G. At the same time, I could see it being flipped where the Bills win because the Bills might unravel some offense. This is just made up shit on my ass that Spagnuolo hasn't seen. And I really have a good feeling about Shakir. I think Kincaid not being out there is actually a plus for the other guys. Knox is fine. Kincaid doesn't block very well. Okay, I'll just say that. Is he really a tight end? No. It's not a loss. All right. I think that's all I have here. Subscribe to Numb Bills Fan if you really want to. I was going to talk about Juju Smith-Schuster. I think he's a solid player for the Chiefs. Smart, comes back from the Patriots from last year, and he sucked there. And then with the Chiefs, you know, sandwiching the Patriots 3 years ago, he was with the Chiefs, did well, doing well this year. That's about it. Yeah, we talked about Amari Cooper's cast. Spagnuolo being a dog. That's all I got, all right? Yeah, actually, one more thing. Don't forget the defense of the Chiefs is really good. Okay? They're very good against run teams. So, yeah. So, only 5 rush touchdowns on the Chiefs this year. So, it could be the Allen running game, but I'm hoping it's out of that 3 receiver set, breaks down, gets the yards. I'm done here. I have nothing else for you. Dumb Bills fan everywhere. I'm David. Toodles.